Hi everyone! Even if you only take away one idea from this event, it could be the breakthrough your business has been waiting for. It's great to have you with us as we keep learning together. Don't forget, the free summit access ends Saturday, October 4th at midnight Eastern. Upgrading now ensures you'll have more time to rewatch. Plus, you will receive an exclusive Sync 2026 discount. The $97 pass includes 30 days of replays and $97 off Sync 2026. The $197 VIP pass includes replays through February 28th, 2026, VIP perks, and $197 off Sync 2026. Head to the Perks and Partners space to upgrade and get the full details. If you need help, the AI Summit support space and our team are here for you. Our next session is filled with more valuable information on AI for photographers. Let's get into it.
Hey guys, what's going on? I am so excited to be here talking to you about AI. So guys, first off, I want to thank Darty and Michelle for giving me this opportunity to talk again with Sync. Unfortunately, I'm not able to make it down to the conference in person. My wife and I just brought in our very first baby girl into this world, and so travel's a little tight for me right now, but still getting an opportunity like this to jump on here and, get you guys some knowledge about what's making us successful here in Nashville is just super exciting to me. So today we're going to be talking about AI and more specifically how to revolutionize your workflow, whether it's editing, emails, or maybe even getting a little froggy and building some apps. So let's go ahead, dive right into it. We got a lot to cover, y'all. Guys, let's go ahead and get right into it. So we got a lot to cover today. We use a lot of AI tools. Guys, just to give you an idea, when it comes to editing, social media, customer service, dealing with all of our directors, guys, we have upwards of 100,000 kids that we're going to be working with this year, and we've got a 3-person team. When you start adding AI into this, it's like you just explode your team when you can start to automate this stuff. So that's why this is so important. And so again, we're gonna, my big thing is automation. I mean, that's kind of why I'm known in the industry, is because of the automations that we've, put together and built out. And a lot of that I have to thank AI for that. So harnessing AI to revolutionize your photography workflow. Let's get right into it. All right, so I think that we really have to cover the elephant in the room. And first off, what is AI? Why are we scared of it? I think that question is getting a little less relevant because I think we're getting a little more familiar with AI and we're not quite as nervous anymore as photographers, but there's still some fear out there. And then how can we use AI to our advantage, right? So obviously AI is a field of computer science, artificial intelligence. It's focused on creating systems, right? And that's the biggest thing, right? And so I do volume photography. That's why these systems are key to what I do in the volume realm. But this isn't to say that you should shy away from this if you're a portrait photographer. If you're doing weddings, you are still systemizing your workflow, right? So it doesn't mean just because you're not doing volume that this isn't relevant, right? And then why are we scared of AI? Guys, oh my gosh, the fear with AI for so many years was that it was just going to take over our industry, until we started noticing that people had, 3 hands and 12 fingers, right? So, I don't think it's there. But again, if it's kind of like horse and buggy, right? If we don't evolve to the car, we're just going to get left behind. So I think that's kind of the key that I'm trying to get here. And then advantages, that's this whole talk, y'all. I mean, we're going to go through all of these advantages and how we can utilize this AI to better streamline our business. All right, so again, benefits of AI. You're going to hear me say this 1,000 times. Automation, right? Getting those repetitive tasks that we're constantly doing over and over and over again, and just taking the human aspect out of it, not necessarily taking the emotion out of it, not taking our voice out of it, but just taking some of the human mistakes, sometimes the emotion, when we get into emails and things where we might be a little upset, right? Maybe we let AI jump in to kind of handle those upset customers. And I've got a program for that. The other thing is just overall speed and consistency. Guys, just the other day, I ran 23,000 images through PicSnub to create different iterations of the same pose on different backgrounds, fully automated. It took about 22 hours for that to run, and it did it while I was asleep, right? So, and then I just sent it to selling yesterday, and the number of download all orders coming in is incredible, right? So again, that speed and consistency, there's no way I would ever be able to hand click 23,000 images. Absolutely impossible. Not in 22 hours, that's for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right into our agenda for today. And guys, I'm gonna be moving pretty quickly because I've got so many really cool tools that I wanna show you. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So the main 4 AI pieces that I wanna talk about today are Hypertype, Minvo, Evoto, which most of you are gonna know, and then obviously ChatGPT. I think I'd be doing a disservice if I didn't go into ChatGPT just a little bit. So let's go ahead and dive into Hypertype. So Hypertype is a text prediction that is built right into your email. We use it for our Gmail, and it essentially reads through the conversation and then gives you an appropriate response. So it's kind of like a built-in ChatGPT, but the nice thing is it's got a memory, and so it'll actually follow those email chains and kind of plug things in from other emails. Now, one of the websites you'll hear me talk about often is AppSumo. AppSumo is a collective of software engineers where this is kind of where they get their start, is by putting their product on AppSumo. Now, I can't vouch for everything on AppSumo. Some of it's amazing. Some of it's not so great. The beautiful thing about AppSumo is you do get a 60-day trial. And guys, I don't work for AppSumo, but this is where I found a lot of my AI software. So I do have links to all of these. Now this one is for Doran. Hypertype is no longer on AppSumo. So if you want to just pay the monthly for Hypertype, you can. Just go to their website. But Doran is a lifetime deal on AppSumo. So you pay one time and then you get it forever. And that's actually what I did with Hypertype. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this email. So I've got an email here from an angry mom, right? It's I'm extremely frustrated with this whole process. I have 2 kids who play in the league. One received the link, one didn't. How am I supposed to order if I don't have access to the gallery? Prices are high. I'm wasting my time, blah, blah, blah. You guys have heard it. I mean, we've seen these emails come through, right? So the problem is I see so many people jump on the Facebook groups and air that dirty laundry and say, hey, look, I'm having these issues. But also, it's one of those, like, if we can utilize AI to give us a professional answer that satisfies the parent, gosh, I mean, the time that we would save, and that's exactly what Hypertype does. So what I'm going to do is come down here and I can pick kind of the tone that I want it to be. So let's just say we want it to be apologetic, right? And I could put in there what I want to, or I could just go, vent with GPT. So I'm just going to put in here, just very, very basic, guys. I'm not typing this out. Again, I'm not typing the email itself. So, hey, Karen, the link is synkrocks.com. All right. And then obviously that's going to send them to their gallery. Obviously, I'd put in an actual gallery in there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and hit generate draft on apologetic. And then it does take a couple minutes to kind of think up the answer and what it wants to type up. All right, so now our email is finished. And let me just go through this really quick. It says, hi, Karen. First, I want to sincerely apologize for the frustration this has caused you. I completely understand how disappointing it must feel for one child to have their photos while the other did not receive access. And again, it just goes through and it gives the link, and it just, it gives a very apologetic, professional email that now I can kind of take that emotion out of, oh, I did a bad job, or I need confirmation that this is okay to send, or, what have you. So that way, it's you just kind of skip the whole jumping on the Facebook pages to figure out if this is an appropriate email. Now, again, to be fair, AI is not perfect. I still want to read through this and make sure this is exactly what I want to send, because it might not be my correct process. It might not be exactly what I want to say. So, but then you just go ahead and kind of type it out a little bit, change a few things, and then hit send. So guys, this is hypertype, and again, it saves us a ton of time on the customer service side of things. And again, Doran AI is very, very similar. It's just got that lifetime deal. All right, so let's get into Minvo. So Minvo is one of my favorites that I use on my YouTube channel, Coffee with Carl. So Minvo takes long form video and breaks it down automatically to create the shorts. So all of those shorts that you see, it creates those for you. All right, so this is the back end of Minvo, and you can see it's pretty simple. I mean, we've got our uploads here, we've got our clips. I can actually link in my social media accounts and create a schedule. So guys, it can all be done right here in this website. So I can come over here to my uploads, and then I can just, upload one of my videos here. So I'll just go to one of my YouTube videos, and let's do our the Photoshop action one. So you can see down here, that's loading, and it's already creating my clips. So actually I lied, sorry. It's uploading the video. So now I have the option to essentially do some stuff myself. I can add captions and edits, or I can just clip them to shorts. And that's typically what I do. So this is a 7-minute video. And all I'm gonna do is I can put in instructions. I usually don't, honestly, guys. I make this so simple. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and create my clips. And that will start processing. And you can see here, it's gonna take about 6 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of pause this video because I do want you guys to see this live time, but obviously I don't wanna just sit here for 6 minutes. But you can see it's all working in the background. So while this is running, I can just move on to the next thing. So I'll go ahead and I'm gonna let this run, and I will be right back. All right, so just to give you guys an idea, that took about 6 minutes. So the timing was pretty spot on, and this is what we have. So again, it gives me different options. It actually created 5 videos out of this, as you can see. And then I just kind of go through and pick the ones I want. Now, it does give a score over here on how it would do based on the transcription. So apparently I need to kick up my game because, yeah, that's not great. But again, You know what's funny is sometimes I'll upload some of these lower scores and those end up being my biggest hits too. So yeah, you know, it just depends. But again, that's marketing. That's, you know, sales in general. But again, so there's so much in here that you can do. You can add images, you can write things out yourself, you can check out the transcript. There's different effects that you can add to it. You can frame the faces. So even just coming down here, like this one didn't frame the face. So this is probably one that I would use because I don't want it to frame just this. I want to see the entire screen because it's a Photoshop action tutorial. But again,
I got a little test folder here of some images. So I'm going to go File, Automate. And we're going to automate a batch. Okay. So I'm going to go to...
So you can see it pulled out different highlights of the video. I've got my entire transcript right here. Again, I can fully edit this however I want, or I can just export and run it. But guys, this is such a game changer when it comes to like social media marketing. And again, you guys saw me, I just uploaded the video and just click, you know, create shorts. So it's something that's very, very simple. And it's based on the number of minutes that you upload. So you get so many per month and then they refresh every month. So, I mean, it's kind of a sweet deal. But you guys could set up a camera for behind the scenes and, you know, get video while you're at the photo shoot. You can get videos of editing. I've found that on social media, really, it's the behind the scenes that really kind of hit home. But yeah, if you guys see any shorts from me on YouTube, I guarantee it went through Venmo. So, but again, like this pulled, you know, my black and white and grunge action. It pulled background removal. So again, it created all of these, and it's using highly searched inquiries, I guess. You know, I've got mine specifically set to YouTube, so it's checking YouTube to see what are those keywords that are going to trigger people to go to my page, right? Quick tutorial, automate, Photoshop, right? So background removal, obviously that was in here 3 times. So that must be a hot topic right now, which also gives me an idea of what I should be making more content about, because that's what it's pulling out. So anyways, guys, yeah, so that's kind of a, you know, breakdown of Minvo, but definitely highly recommend checking out Minvo, especially if you're trying to up your game on, you know, shorts. So let's go ahead and just talk processing with Evoto. Guys, if you haven't checked out Evoto AI, this is absolutely next level. It is absolutely incredible what these guys are doing over there. And guys, I could probably do an entire full day course just on Evoto, but I am going to give you the 5-minute Evoto spiel and just some of the main tools that really help us out. All right, so one of the big things I just absolutely love with Evoto is the presets, right? Everything over here on the right side, this is like Lightroom on steroids, guys. It's absolutely crazy. There's so many things that you can change and create. So we've got face refinement, blemish removal, skin retouching, facial reshape. I mean, guys, this stuff is crazy, right? Like he's kind of looking up, right? So I can tilt his head to the side. I can tilt it up and down. So I can actually change that angle on what he's looking, and it looks incredible, right? So, I mean, there's so many different things that I can do to make this look perfect. Teeth, eyes, makeup. Again, we can change hair, we can tether. One of my other favorite things, just kind of going through this very, very quickly, is this de-wrinkle, right? Look at this. It's going to get rid of all of those, but it doesn't get rid of everything. So it still looks so, so natural, right? So take the time, learn ePhoto in its fullness. But again, the big things that I want to show you from just an overall processing standpoint is the presets here. All right. So what I did was I have presets for our schools, and all I have to do is click this one button and boom, I've got it on my fall background. And then I can go ahead and export that. And then all I got to do is click on my next button and I've got my next background. And it's done all of those little things that I just showed you. So I've got my de-wrinkle, I've got all of that going on. So the best part is I can actually, I can click on my preset and then select all of my subjects, come over here to sync, sync. All right, crop and rotate, I hit sync, and then bada boom, bada bing, it does all of those for me. Now, I wanted to show you guys this little girl because the glass glare, see, that glass glare was already built into my preset. And so even though this kiddo didn't have glass glare, this kiddo did. And so again, it just creates all of that for me. Now, one thing that they just built in is in the export, I can actually export multiple presets in here. So I can add multiple presets and export them all at the same time. So right here, yep. So just export those presets and then I would just create a preset. So it's really, really nice. And I can just go ahead and knock these schools out so quickly. So and then for my sports side, again, same thing, right? So if I want to call these, all I have to do is I just put that as a 1 star, go through, and I can call those. So I've got them called, and then I come over here and I just say I want this to be equal to 0 stars, and you can see it got rid of that one that I called. So a lot of people are like, well, how are you calling in ePhoto? That's exactly what we're doing. So then I just come down here to my sports, and I've got a sports outdoor, so I can just click on that. And it makes all the changes down here, right? And so let's say that preset was a little overexposed for that day. As much as I try to get it perfect, as y'all know, there's certain things that it just happens. And, you know, maybe it was super bright out that day. So all I have to do is come down, pull that exposure down. Whoop, too far maybe. All right. And then we'll just come back over here, hit these 3 little dots. I can update my current settings. Update. I'm going to cancel it just because I want this preset to stay the same. But then again, same thing. Go through here, sync it. And now I've got my extractions. I've got my de-wrinkle. I've got everything already taken care of. I've got my drop shadows. So again, guys, ePhoto is such an incredible software, and you can see it is so fast. It's already processed all of these, and you don't have to wait for the thumbnails to process. You can just hit export. My absolute favorite thing is no matter how many of these things you click, it's still just 1 credit, no matter what, always 1 credit. I can go back in, make changes, and it's still just 1 credit. So definitely check out ePhoto if you have not done so. All right, guys. So again, if you haven't checked out ePhoto, scan this code. It'll take you to their website. Again, portraiture or volume, there's an opportunity there with ePhoto. So let's go ahead, and I just kind of want to touch on some honorable mentions. These are some other programs that we use that have really helped. with our, just streamlining our overall process. So Smart Clerk AI, this is becoming one of my favorites because it's actually AI bookkeeping. And so what it does is I drop in all of my PDFs or my CSVs from my bank statements and things like that, and then it actually categorizes those for me. So it saves me a ton of time not having to categorize all of that and or pay a bookkeeper $1,000 a month to take care of that for me. Survey Noodle is one that we use. Meta Survey is the one that's on AppSumo right now. It's very, very similar. So we use Survey Noodle when we're trying to find new backgrounds, or, hey, what do the parents want? Do they want 8x10s? Do they want wallets? Do they want this? Do they want that? Is there anything new that they're looking for? We are so big on surveys because, listen, if we don't know what our customers want, we're never going to be able to satisfy them. And so we're constantly sending out surveys. Plus, guys, when you send out a survey on a social media post, guess what? That's instant advertising, but it's not like spammy. It's just it's a easy way to kind of get information that you need. Chatbot Builder, that is just as it sounds. It's literally, it's a chatbot. So essentially what we use that for is we have a program called the Grid. Guys, I'm sorry, my focus keeps popping in and out. So it built a chatbot for us that we could link to our website. So that way, if people had questions after hours, they could go to our chatbot, and it really just kind of scans through the website and it kind of learns everything for you. If it doesn't know the answer to something, it's going to send you a message, and then that way you can automatically, reach out to that client. But it's never going to put you in a position that, if it doesn't know the answer to something. So anyways, those are just kind of some honorable mentions. All right, so let's talk ChatGPT. And guys, obviously we know this is kind of where I think everybody starts when they start with AI. The first thing I really want to kind of talk about is spam proofing your communication profiles. All right, so the first thing we did was we took all of our communication profiles and we put it into ChatGPT, and we essentially typed it out and said, okay, make this more fun, make it sport specific, for our sports email, make it school specific for our schools. But then the very last thing was take any keywords that trigger spam. Guys, we saw an increase from 60% to 85% open rate. And it was just because it was actually hitting their inbox. Think about if you could increase your sales instantly by 20 to 25% just because they're actually getting the email. All right, that's what that one thing did with ChatGPT. So don't sleep on Chat. I know it's kind of it was the first one, and there's all these new exciting things coming out. But guys, ChatGPT is still where it's at. All right, so second thing is our legacy apps suite. So my director of operations and I, we actually started building apps through ChatGPT, and she kind of gave me a layout of what she does. So she actually went to school for coding, and so she's got a coding background. But guys, I want to show you exactly kind of what we do to come up with some of these apps, because guys, it's not quite as difficult as what you would think. So again, I just want to get the gears running, right? Just the possibilities that most people don't even think about. So again, going into that app development. So let's kind of touch on that. So this is where when we're talking app development, this is kind of where it starts. It's like, okay, what is that breakdown? And I've seen you guys do this, especially on the portrait side. When I come to sync and I go to the portrait photographers, classes, guys, a lot of times this is what it is. It's that storyboard, and so that's all this is. It's just writing it out exactly what we're wanting that to be. And so this is for a folder structure app that we built, and I'll actually show you guys that here in just a sec. And then this here is voice to text. So guys, use voice to text with ChatGPT. And I think the biggest advice I can give you is just have a conversation. It doesn't have to be in code. It doesn't have to be in any like specific language or anything like that, guys. It's just having a conversation. Kind of like I showed you earlier with hypertype. It's like, hey, write this email back to Karen, blah, blah, blah. Here's her link, go, right? And then it creates this code for, or this email for you. So kind of the same thing. It's like, all right, hey, chat, I want to create this folder app and this is what I'm needing. And I need it to do blah, 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 and this and this and this and X, Y, Z, right? So again, don't get caught up on the semantics of AI. Just have a conversation with it like you would a best friend. All right. So this is kind of, this is where I might lose some people and it gets a little techie. But again, guys, I did this and I have no coding background. So I didn't know what I was doing when I was coming to app development. And so I literally asked ChatGPT, I'm like, what is Python? And it said, oh, all you have to do is blah, blah, blah. And then it steps me through exactly what I needed to do. So it's kind of like its own little course, but you have to ask it, right? So this is kind of the back end and, you know, some of the things that, you know, Python was creating. So this was a very, very basic, you know, app that we created with the folder structure. So we could select our type of shoot and, you know, create the folder structure, have a save location, right? So again, Tinctor and all that, you know, this isn't anything that you really need to know. It's just, the point is like, I can go back into chat and be like, Tinctor, what's Tinctor, right? And it's going to tell me. So anytime that you get kind of caught up, that's what we're using ChatGPT. Again, ChatGPT has kind of become the new Google for us. All right. So this is kind of the breakdown of what this looked like in the very beginning stages. And so you can see kind of the development and again, just going back and forth and having that conversation with ChatGPT to build this out, right? So again, it's just creating those folder structures. And guys, we actually came up with this because we were hiring people and next thing you know, they'd have like 20 different folders, like, you know, John Smith. And we're like, what's this folder? So again, if you're running into stuff like that, these are perfect opportunities to fix those issues. All right. So again, all this code couldn't tell you even where to begin on what this means, but ChatGPT created all this. And so it told me exactly how to input it and where to go on my desktop. Desktop and Mac are completely different. And so, you know, again, it's just one of those things that if you go in and just ask ChatGPT, hey, okay, great, I've got this code. Now what? Now what do I do with this? Guys, so many people are building very simple apps now that are changing the game for, again, volume. The folder structure one would be great, even for portrait. So here's a link to our suite. And I'm actually going to take you guys in there and show you some of the apps that we created. So we'll come back to this page in just a sec. All right, guys. So here is our apps page. And guys, I don't want this to be a sales pitch. Obviously, you know, if you're interested in the apps, let me know. But honestly, this is truly just kind of what we're creating. This entire website was built through AI. All right. So just to give you an idea, the power of this. So we've got our Spa Wizard, we've got Sit, we do have an exposure match, and I'll kind of explain that here in just a little bit. We've got our focal distance match, and then there's our folder structure app, which is what I'm going to kind of show you guys today. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. All right, so Spa Wizard, kind of what we did with that was this is a way to actually, for those people that are using Pixnub, this creates a spa ready spreadsheet for you, because we realized that our editors were really struggling with the CSVs. And so you can actually take your metadata export out from your sales platform, put it into Spa Wizard, and it'll pick all your templates. You can do multiple templates, you can do multiple images. It's really, really cool without the fear of having to build that template or that spreadsheet out yourself. Sit is our separate into teams. So that is, you can take thousands and thousands of images and then tell it, hey, and this is more for composite, sports, but you can tell it that my first image or my last image is my team photo, hit a button and boom, it automatically separates those. Exposure match. This is really, really cool. So this was a new one for us. And again, guys, this is all built in chat. All of these apps were built in ChatGPT. So exposure match, that you can take a reference photo and it'll actually match the exposures. So then you can take a group of images. So again, if you're at a school photo shoot or a sports photo shoot and you're on 2 different cameras, you can say, hey, this is the image I want it to match to. Select the folder and it's gonna essentially match all of those. It's really, really sweet. Same thing in a different sense with focal distance match. So again, with composite photography, when you're trying to composite your team photos, especially with a variable lens, if you get a 70 to 200 and you set one camera at 70 and the next one's accidentally bumped, it's at 73. We see it all the time. You can actually pop that folder in there with all the 73s, tell it to drop it down to 70, and it's going to resize those appropriately. So again, just saving a ton of time. But let's go ahead and jump into this folder structure app real quick. So again, this is the final version, right? So it gives you a preview over here, and we can select a folder to modify. We can add our subfolders here. So I can just start with this. I can add a subfolder, and we can just say it's a test. I'll add that folder. So now it's in there. So I can save this folder structure. I can create new folders. I can load a folder structure if I've already got one. So again, it's a very, very simple app, but it's been huge for our editing team. And then all I have to do is save this structure, and then it'll save a zip file, and then I just pop that into my main folder structure on my NAS, and I'm good to go. And it's already built out. So now my editing team has a point of reference and to put their culled instead of deleted or saved or good photos or all these other folder structures that we end up getting when they don't really have a direction to go to. So anyways, again, guys, if the apps are something you're interested in, definitely check out the link here. But again, I'm not trying to really push that. I just want to show you that you guys can go as simple as a folder structure app with ChatGPT all the way to as extensive as CSV building, separating out images. We've done stuff with facial recognition. I built an entire facial recognition tagging software. So again, guys, there's so much opportunity, and that's really kind of what I wanted to hit on with ChatGPT. All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much for joining me today on this crazy adventure on AI. AI is so intensive. There's so many programs out there, guys. There's so many programs that are doing the same thing. And there's so many programs that I just don't have time to even cover. AFTERSHOOT for culling. There's new AIs that are building programs for you. And there's just so much out there to be able to increase your workflow and help automate this stuff. But again, these are just some of the heavy hitters. And guys, we just went through probably 7 different programs. Again, and this isn't even scratching the surface on what you can do. So my hope today is that you took at least one little nugget from this, got some inspiration, thought about how, you know, you can fit this into your workflow, and honestly just got those creative gears running. Right now, I know we didn't even get into background creation or, you know, mid journey or any of those things. But again, guys, I really wanted to focus more on the actual business aspect of some of these things. That's why we went into Smart Clerk, and, you know, I mean, literally trying to cover everything from editing to bookkeeping to emails. This was a lot. So definitely go back, watch this recording, reach out. Please, please, please let me know if you guys have any questions. I am more than happy to help assist with any of these programs that you have questions on. Again, I'm an advocate for AppSumo just because they've helped me kind of you know, curve my business and give me a lot of my freedom back. But if you guys have any questions on programs in AppSumo, let me know. If you have questions on our apps, let me know. If you just have general questions on prompting, let me know. One last little nugget I'll leave you with on prompting, because a lot of people really struggle with this. And again, guys, talk to the AI like it's your best friend, right? But the one big nugget I'll give you on prompting is ask the AI to ask you questions, right? So that is one thing that I'll add into my prompt with ChatGPT, and I'll just tell it, hey, ask me 5 questions regarding the prompt that I just gave you to get better clarity of what exactly I'm needing. And then it'll list out those questions, and they're literally like interview questions. And it's the craziest thing. I'll go through and I'll answer those questions. And now it's not this back and forth of, okay, does the AI really understand what I'm looking for? So it'll actually create questions that it needs clarification on. And that was a game changer for me when it came to prompting. So, but again, I think you could do that with Midjourney. I think you could do that with ChatGPT, any of these AI softwares out there. So, but guys, I really truly hope that this was helpful and that it gives you just another insight on AI and how it is absolutely changing our industry, but I think for the better. So again, if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out. You can reach out to me on Facebook. I'm very active on my Facebook channel. I've got my Coffee with Carl Facebook page. Or, you know, shoot me an email. I'll make sure to get Darty and sync my information so that way you guys can reach out, and hopefully we'll be able to do a live Q&A. I'm not sure on that. So, but yeah, again, feel free to reach out. Would love to help. And again, this is such a blessing what Darty and Michelle have created here at Sync. And I'm just thankful to be a part of it. So thanks again, guys, and we'll talk soon. Take care.